Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Mi channel. Guys, during chapter 1126, we see the consequences of the Hashinosu battle for the Blackbeard pirates. At this point, we learn that Kobe truly escaped, but unlike what many imagined, Garp didn't end up floating frozen in the seas after his defeat. Instead, he was captured by Blackbeard, who took him as a consolation prize, but much more than that too. I hope for your support to help our crew win, and to do so, you just need to click the thumbs up button, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. By doing this, you will win an incredible devil fruit. So just comment which fruit you want. We see Kuzan revealing that his goal at that moment was to kill Garp, not to capture him, but Garp survived. At that point, he's even reassured by the other crew members. However, from Kuzan's expression, we can even tell that at some point, a betrayal might happen among the Blackbeard pirates. That's because the expression he showed when he said that didn't indicate he was angry about an enemy surviving, but instead it was an expression that closely resembled desperation. This could mean he wanted Garp to lose his life, as it would be better than falling into the hands of Blackbeard, almost like a mercy attack to prevent Garp from suffering an even worse fate being captured by that ruthless pirate. After all, we've seen that Aokiji, in the midst of his attack on Garp, revealed that he joined the Blackbeard pirates solely because he lost faith in the Marines. However, the most absurd part of this story is the reason why he left the group he initially believed was right and went directly to the worst pirate crew, which goes against everything he believed. That doesn't make sense at all, and we have some evidence that Kuzan is currently on a mission within that group, and for that reason, in order not to reveal his true intentions, he had to attack Garp. If you remember when Doflamingo arrives at Punk Hazard, where Smoker and his crew are, all the lower-ranked Marines are knocked out by Doflamingo's King Haki. Moreover, the remaining ones who weren't knocked out were injured by his strings. Then, when Doflamingo threatens to execute his companions, Smoker intervenes with his fist flying through him, starting a battle between the two that ends with Smoker severely injured, and Doflamingo on top of him about to take his life. It is then that at the last second, Doflamingo's final strike is interrupted by Kuzan, who arrives to save Smoker. After briefly releasing Smoker, he faces Kuzan and immediately attacks Smoker without warning. We then see that Kuzan freezes him along with part of the island, easily stopping Doflamingo's attack. Doflamingo quickly breaks free of the ice, seemingly with his own strength, but he decides not to continue fighting, since it would be very difficult to face Aokiji. At this moment, he was no longer part of the Marines, and said he wouldn't allow Doflamingo to hurt a friend of his, which is expected. However, shortly after, he was attempting to take the life of the man who made him who he is today. Kuzan didn't change his way of thinking in a few months, I'm sure of that. In fact, what he did was attack Garp in a non-lethal way, simply to defeat him without taking his life, while simultaneously maintaining his disguise. After all, if he hadn't attacked Garp at that moment, he would have automatically lost the trust of Teach and the other crew members. On the other hand, by attacking him, he immediately lost any suspicion that someone might have had about him, as he attacked the Marine hero, someone he had a deep bond with previously. I believe he is on a spying mission, a mission against a Yonko, and there are a few possibilities about this. The first would be for the Marines themselves. After all, we've seen this happen before. Many years ago, while Doflamingo was taking his father's head back to marry Juice, only to be denied re-entry, Rocinante left alone, heartbroken. He wandered until Admiral Sengoku found him and took him in, and later enlisted in the Marines, rising in rank to commander. 14 years later, he returned to monitor his brother's activities, who had become a powerful pirate, all to inform Admiral Sengoku. Rocinante pretended to be mute and became his second-in-command and elite officer, alongside Trebol, Pika, and Diamante. He was named the second Corazon, while the first, Virgo, went abroad and spent years infiltrating that place to prevent Doflamingo's great power from creating a problem that the Marines could no longer stop. The same could be happening now, especially if that warning given to the 5 elders about a pirate who could cause great harm is taken into account. Akainu and Aokiji might have fought to determine which of them would act as the traitor in the Marines and which would take the position of fleet admiral. For this reason, they could still be fighting as a Marine spy today, needing to do things that go against their own desires, acting like someone evil. The second possibility is that he was indeed defeated by Akainu and left the Marines. What he told Garp was true, he really stopped believing in the Marines. However, he would have gone to a group that made sense, a group founded by an ex-member of the Marines who stopped believing. Aokiji might have joined Dragon and the Revolutionaries. It's worth remembering that the Revolutionaries might be about to suffer a major attack from Teach's crew, and at that moment, it would be the perfect environment for the Revolutionaries to face that crew, with Aokiji revealing himself as a spy for the Revolutionaries. Although Dragon doesn't show it, he has a deep affection for his family, which is mainly demonstrated during during the first encounter between Dragon and Luffy, where Dragon saves his son and allows him to chase his dreams. Something similar could drive Dragon to perform the same feat, but to save his father, Garp. Determined to save Garp, Dragon, alerted by Aokaji of the imminent attack, would summon an emergency meeting with his most trusted allies and strategists to plan the rescue of the legendary marine hero during the battle, temporarily putting aside the conflicts with the world government just to succeed in this rescue. The Revolutionary Army, being a global organization dedicated to challenging tyranny, has a vast network of supporters and agents infiltrated in every corner of the One Piece world, which provides considerable resources for action. Additionally, Dragon is known for his skill as a strategist, and to ensure the success of the rescue mission, he would take advantage of the fact that Blackbeard is going to exploit the attack the revolutionaries are making. Using the information from Aokiji and his vast network of spies and well-placed informants, Dragon would gather precise data on the crew's defenses, the disposition of Blackbeard's troops, the weak points of the ship, as well as any other obstacles the Revolutionary Army would face during the rescue operation. Knowing that a direct confrontation with Blackbeard and his feared crew would be extremely dangerous, Dragon could opt to explore opportunities to establish temporary alliances with other factions and pirates who have conflicts or rivalries with Teach, thus gaining a significant advantage in this great confrontation that would unfold. However, while the battle takes place, I believe it will be Aokaji himself who will rescue Garp, even revealing that he is an ally of Dragon who was acting as a spy and apologizing for the previous attack. Meanwhile, we would see the battle where the powers of Luffy's father would be revealed. Although not confirmed, several pieces of evidence and events suggest the possibility that Dragon possesses one of the most powerful and feared Logia fruits ever known, a devil fruit capable of manipulating the weather. This theory gains strength due to the mysteries surrounding Dragon's abilities, which have not yet been fully revealed. The hypothetical wind or even weather fruit could give Monkey D. Dragon the ability to command natural elements, such as extremely powerful winds, capable of causing rain, or a strong gale that could sweep across an entire island. This could make him a great obstacle for Blackbeard's pirates. His potential power might even instill fear in the dreaded Teach. During this rescue, if necessary, Dragon could use this potential power both for combat and distraction, allowing him to gain some control over the situation. Based on his experience as a revolutionary leader and his ability to make quick decisions, Dragon would conduct the operation swiftly with precise and coordinated movements. His agents would be trained to act quickly, moving silently through the surroundings and avoiding any unnecessary interaction with enemies, or even engage in direct confrontation, facing the full power of Blackbeard's pirates, thus initiating a great clash between the Revolutionary Army and Teach's pirates, a clash that would once again change the One Piece world completely. But what do you think about this? Comment below. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.